Howard Stern on this date. We're live. The Artie Lange updates and all the fun. And look at, we've got people already here before I even got here. Hello, people. Welcome in. Charlie Don't Surf was first. Lambada was second. Heavy was third. Taryn was fourth. Welcome in and thank you for being here. This is very exciting. I'm so happy that they were here early. So welcome in if you've never been here. Thank you for joining. And we do this, we try to do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays, sometimes on the weekend, but always usually right around 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. And we go live. And what I do is I talk about things that happened on this date on The Stern Show. We talk about things that happened today on The Stern Show if you listened. And we have fun. I look at the comments, we talk back and forth, and we just have a good old time. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining. I like doing that. I don't know. Who's ready for baseball, huh? Who is ready to hear what's going to happen to Shohei Ohtani? Oh, by the way, I'm looking at two places because I'm live right here. But over here, I record this, and then I post it again so you can watch it later in the, what do they call it, horizontal? I'm still confused by vertical and horizontal. But welcome in. Happy birthday to Nancy Pelosi on this date she was born. She's 84. Doesn't look a day over 72. Happy birthday to Nancy, huh? Who else's birthday today? Steven Tyler. Where's that birthday? I need to figure out how old he is. Steven Tyler's birthday today. He's born in 1948. That would make him 76. So happy birthday to Steven Tyler. We'll be looking at some Stern on this date, but we want people to get in and see what they want to talk about as well. Missed the group. I hope everyone's getting the alerts and the chat alerts and all the good things. And again, we're here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, usually right around 4 p.m. Central, sometimes after. But I put it out there early. I'll let you know when I'm going to be here. But we're wishing happy birthday to Steven Tyler today. Also, Kenny Chesney was born today, 1968. So that would make him 56? Is that right? Kenny Chesney? No way. 56 for Kenny Chesney. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the likes and the thumbs ups. Again, if you want to be part of the fun and take a look at the description, you can do super chats, you can do super thanks. Hello, Matt. You're the fifth person in here. The interpreter will take the fall and be compensated well, just my opinion. I am watching the Shohei thing. I'm reading timelines. After yesterday, Shohei went live or did a quote press conference and he felt believable to me. And I can't imagine that you can say the things he said yesterday and not be innocent. Not the double negative, but I feel like Shohei's not lying. I don't know. But I've been crushed before. But how does someone get that bank account information? Hi there, King Danny. Let's read here. King Danny. Hey, bro, thank you. Can you show your dad's Elvis stuff? Yeah. Who is this? King Doopy. Do you know that my dad has Elvis stuff? I'll go ahead and show some here on the live version. My dad drew these over here. Let's go. Let's go ahead and take a walk. For the live folk, or for the people not live, we'll fix this. But hey, bro. Thank you. Can you show? Oh, you just said that. So my dad drew these back in the day. I don't know if it's got the date. That was his coup de grace. Let's see what year this was. Usually he dated stuff. I don't see a date on that one. Then he did Young Elvis. He did a Young Elvis portrait there. And then he did Vegas Elvis there. Yeah. Let's see if I have any other Elvis stuff. I don't see any other Elvis stuff. Yeah, Al was a good drawer, man. He was a good artist. Where's he drew our house back in the this is our house. I don't know if you can see that. That's a shot of our house, the house I grew up in. He drew that. Let's see, and this is Al right here. Me and Al passed. By the way, his birthday. Thanks for bringing this up. His birthday was March 22nd. So his birthday he would have been 81 on this date, March 22nd. If we're playing on this date. Hello, Lance. Welcome in. We were asked to, hi, I'm back over here now. Was asked to show some Elvis stuff there. Let's see. Hello, Cindy Moon. He was amazing at drawing, says Cindy Moon. Happy belated birthday to Al. Thank you, Cindy Moon. King Doopy says, awesome, thank you. Lance says, happy birthday to your dad. Yes, would have been 81, died at 57. Goodness gracious. You know, time to talk about lung cancer. No, just don't smoke, kids. If you're watching out there and you're a smoker, don't smoke, okay? Don't drink, don't smoke. As Adam Ant would say. Well, now I'm a little torn. I don't know where to go from here. I was just talking to the audience, but then someone asked for some show and tell. I'm trying to see if I have any other Elvis. I have one more Elvis thing. I'm going to go ahead and show it to you. Let's go. Let's take a walk, Freds. We're live. Hi, Facebook. Oh, this is an elephant I took this elephant from a funeral. This woman loved elephants. And I took the biggest one. Wife's not happy. This was always at the bar at the house. And I'm so glad that I finally have it. It's here, my little domain down here in the basement as I walk and talk. It's hard to walk and talk when you're doing something like, I almost hit my head on, did you see that? I almost hit my head on the thing. I didn't really do that. Well, so we're going live here today, walking around the basement, showing it off. Maybe one day we'll go back there. Mr. Mofungo, 57, died too young. Yeah, he did. That's true. Smoking and eating not healthy. I'll tell an Al story. It was funny. There was one night he was having this, he used to eat all by himself pizza, 16 to 20 inch pizzas. And the pizza came out, he pulled it to himself. Mine, he said. So he starts eating the pizza and he's about 4 pieces left. And these are the St. Louis style, so it's like squares. And the waiter comes over and goes, how's everything going? And in the process, knocks over, walks into a light, and then the glass shatters into the pizza. And so the waiter goes to take the 4 pieces away. He's like, whoa, I'm not done. I can move that glass out. And they said, sir, we're going to bring in another pizza. He would eat glass on his pizza. That's my favorite Al. Oh, sorry. Sparky. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to go upstairs and get Sparky. Let's see. Do I have a picture of Sparky? A little show and tell today. See, Sparky's being quiet today. So maybe we'll get Sparky up here in a little bit. Maybe next time. How about that? So, yeah, normally we do, this is a different start to the live stream here today, but normally we look back at stern moments, but I'm here just answering questions and comments, and while they come in, then I go and I look at stuff that's happened on this date. King Doopy asks, how's Artie Lange doing? I don't know. I haven't heard from him. I haven't heard how he's doing. All I've heard is that he's possibly going to come out of hiding here in the next month or so, and that he's doing well. That's what I've heard the last time I heard about him. I haven't talked to him, but that's what I've heard. Who else's birthday today? Leonard Nimoy. Leonard Nimoy's birthday is today. He was born in 1931. I don't know if he's still alive. Is he still alive? That's Spock, right? I'm not a Star Trek guy, but happy birthday to him. Happy birthday, Leonard. So I was just listening to the Stern Show today before I started here today, and I stopped listening again because it's just not entertaining to me. Was anyone entertained again today? I heard him telling, quote, Vietnam stories. Actually, I could probably, let's see if I can see. I don't know if I can do that at the same time while I'm going live. Let's just see. Am I still live? Am I still alive? Was I still alive? I don't even know what happened when I just did that. Let's go back and take a look back at some other things that happened on this date. You know what I really like doing? I like seeing what the #1 songs were. And then we'll look at some moments on this date. I'll monitor the chat and answer any questions, do some more show and tell. Did I show this last time? Maybe I didn't. My wife will not let me have this displayed in the main proper area. This is a thing I made in the home ec class. This is a clay flower I don't know what the hell this is, but it's down here now. So that's something. All right. Hello there, Lance. Spock died years ago. Big smoker. This is a theme today. Did he have lung cancer, old Spock? I don't know. Also, I like to go through some baseball cards too. Did I tell these stories last time? If I did, please stop me. I loved error cards, and I got them here too. So the Al Leiter. This, I don't know which one's real, but these are some error cards. I've got a Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck getting graded right now. And then I also like to look at number one songs on this date before we can kind of talk through kind of a strange start to the show today, I'd say. Would you not? I'm too, but I'm welcoming everybody in as we'll be looking at stuff on this date from the Howard Stern Show. March 22nd. What is today? March 26th? You're all ears on the Spock talk. You guys can have a conversation all day about Spock. By the way, I just saw William Shatner on Jimmy Kimmel, 93, and he looks 63, and he's with it at 63. I kind of don't want to get to 93 and be that. Like, I don't want to be that with it, but he looks great. Hey, we got a beep here. He sounds great. Today's March 26th, right? Is that right? In this date, Heart, number one, 1986 with These Dreams. Very coincidental. They're going to be on the Stern Show, according to Howard. I guess were the Black Crowes on today or are they on tomorrow? Black Crowes are going to be on. I'm interested in these guests that he's getting lately because it's like Casey Musgraves and then Hart. And I'm like, who is this show for? I don't really care about Casey Musgraves. I'm not sure I really care about Hart. I love the Black Crowes, but do I need to hear another interview? Hello, Ross Dog's Broken Spirit. This week is the week we find Artie. I got a feeling. It's interesting. All right, so Ross's Dogs, again, welcome if you're watching live. Kind of a very haphazard show today, but normally what we do is I talk to the folks here that come in. We've got a nice crew already here. We have a bunch of regulars. I enjoy that. They ask questions, but I also look at things that happened on this date. And then I post it later over here. By the way, I always mention this too. Check out the description. There's ways to become members. I appreciate we have a person became a member. I've got the super chats and super thanks all enacted, so you can get in there and just say thanks to your YouTube friend Brad here if you'd like. No pressures. Plus, you can buy shirts. The products are there. Lowe's is having a wonderful outdoor sale. So if you're thinking about getting something from Lowe's and you're trying to make your backyard look nice, right now look at all the products. But that's enough of all that. This date, 1987, number one song, second week in a row, Lean on Me by Club Nouveau. Let me read the comments now. Ross's Dog's Broken Spirit. 2024 Howard Stern sucks as bad as 2024 MLB. Heavy. On this date 10 years ago, Sal the Candy Rapper versus John the Lieberman, the two live Jew rap battle, the good old days. I didn't even put that in my... So when I looked up my on this date stuff, I didn't even look at anything past 2010 because it usually makes me angry, and I start looking at it, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. Jessica Hahn scandal, was that today? We started off by talking baseball, and I wanted to talk about Shohei. And, we got kind of a small group here today, but a nice group. As always, a good group, and it grows as we go. I kind of believed Shohei yesterday. I kind of did. Am I the idiot? Like, all these people are like, oh, Shohei, he's completely being... How do you know? How does anyone know? I kind of believed him. This is Ross's Dog's Broken Spirit. 1987, Jack Clark was injured and missed the entire postseason, handing the World Series to the cheating Twins. You know, this pisses me off. I don't know why you brought it up. But yes, I don't know if you guys know what the Twins did, but so their home games, obviously, when they were home, and when they would bat, they would blow wind towards the outfield. So when the batters were up, the wind would blow out. And I think they gave up like 10 home runs, John Tudor and Danny Cox and McGrain and all of them. There was 4 grand slams, and then it was blowing in. And then, Jack Clark was having an MVP season, and of course, at the fucking end, he twists his ankle. He was my favorite all-time Cardinal, along with John Tudor, tied for first because I had my favorite pitcher, my favorite batter as a kid. And that was the end of, real end of Whitey ball. I mean, 1989, they come back and they run up against the Cubs, and then they lose that 3-game series at Wrigley in September. And that was it for a long time. But that childhood that I had getting to watch those Cardinals. And the Cardinals just called up Victor Scott. If we've got Cardinal fans here, I'm extremely excited about this. For the last 5-6 days, I've been just not happy about what the Cardinals are doing. I'm not a big fan of Dylan Carlson, really. And the team just is boring, and they're the same. Victor Scott is different, supposedly. I've never seen him play. I mean, I've seen highlights, but he's going to be different than anything they have. So let's see what happens. This actually gets me excited that they finally said, all right, let's see Dylan Carlson. Lily Poi says Pete Rose. You're going to have to explain more what we're talking about with Pete Rose there. I'm probably gambling, I'm sure. But I heard Pete Rose was saying, oh, of course Ohtani gambled. Like he wants some other people in his camp. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Cardinals-Dodgers on Thursday. So you will not be seeing this live stream. I'll be watching that. Plus all the other games. It's very exciting. And then usually by mid-April, I'm sick of baseball. So we'll see. Maybe not this year. We can come here and talk baseball. Trust me, I'm up for it. If you're up for it, we can talk Cardinals and Cubs playing right now. Goldie hit one off the top of the fence. He's back. Arenado got a base hit. Kyle Gibson pitched 5 innings. Goodness gracious. You know who I watched last night, though? If you're a Cardinal fan out there, if you're watching baseball, let's start over. Jordan Hicks, San Francisco Giants. He's a former Cardinal. And now he's pitching as a starter. He had 10 strikeouts, a no-hitter going through 5. I would love to see that guy just mow down the competition. Another guy Cardinals let get away. Matt says his interpreter had to have had his banking info or Shohei knew. Only explanation for a bookie to allow that debt amount. So that's the only thing I can understand or get out of the whole Shohei thing is, and that's the question I would have asked if Shohei was to take a question. And if I was him, I would have had this as part of a statement yesterday. Clearly, I was being stolen from. I don't know how he got my bank account, but he did, and he was using my bank account to pay these bets off. But again, what he said yesterday, and I saw people kind of lawyer talking, said, you can't say the things he said. Now, this is what I thought, because he called him a liar, right? He said, my interpreter is lying. Well, he lied in that first story that he told. I'm like I said, I could talk about this all day long. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Heavy says, Ohtani says he has never gambled on sports. That's like how he's saying he never gotten hair plugs. How do we know that he didn't? Who knows? He says he doesn't like to gamble. His teammates evidently says he hates to gamble, so I guess we'll find out. Mr. Mofongo, my favorite Cardinal was Albert Pujols. Albert Pujols. Albert was a great Cardinal, and I have a picture over there in the back. You know what? We're doing show and tell. Here's a picture. Let's take a look at a picture here. Hello, we're gonna come with me. We're gonna talk baseball for a second. I did some stuff back in the 2011s with the Cardinals. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, look at this. Here's Albert and me after the World Series. Alan Craig makes the catch, and then Albert and I. We have a time together. That's Jason Mott with the final out. And there's the team. Just, we had a little show and tell earlier. People were asking for the Elvis stuff. So today's a different type of show. But that was me and Albert after the game. And it was his last game as a Cardinal until he came back last year. Thank you, Matt. We have not gotten into one Howard Stern on this date. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'd much rather just talk to the group and have a conversation going than me sitting here reading things. There was things that happened on this date, and we'll take a look. We're going to do that. Mr. Mofongo, he destroyed my Astros many times. This Albert Pujols was a destroyer of Astros. I'll tell you this story about Albert Pujols. So there was a point where I traveled with the Cardinals. I traveled for 2 seasons. And 2006, I traveled the whole season. 2007, I traveled most of the season. And as a producer, I produced the pre-games and post-games from wherever we were. So we had like a 9-game road trip. It was like Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Houston. And we got into Houston, and Albert's just ripping the shit out of the ball, right? And I'm just dead tired. It was hot. I had drank a couple nights, probably most nights. We get to Houston, I'm like, I don't even know. I can't drag myself. And you get to the ballpark. I get there early because I'm going to be producing a show, so you got to get in and work. Albert was there 2 hours already hitting. And the man got had a 3-home run game. And he just was a machine. I don't know how he did it. And I always said, God, people don't understand what kind of talent this is. So I wanted to talk about Albert there for a second. Hopefully people get that was a wonderful time. Heavy says, favorite Cardinal, Jim Edmonds. He was a magician defensively. He was, and he should be in the Hall of Fame. And I'm pissed that he got kicked off the ballot after the first time. I don't even understand how there's a Hall of Fame and there's a discussion about Andrew Jones. I mean, Jim Edmonds was the best center fielder I've ever seen, and I think I don't understand how he's not in the Hall of Fame. Hopefully the veteran committee will fix that, but God, that was a mess. King Dopey, let me get $25 on Caitlin Clark over 30 points and $350K on Ohtani over 95 Ks. Ohtani's okay, got it. Matt says, I'm a Cubs fan, but Silent George was my guy on the Cards growing up. George Hendrick, yes. This is right before I became a Cardinal fan, so I mean, I was alive, but I wasn't watching baseball. But everybody loves George Hendrick, and he was Silent George, but big player on that 1982 baseball team. Again, if you're here for the Stern stuff, we'll get there, I promise. But I'm reading the comments and what people want to talk about today, and I'll be doing this. We'll talk sports. We can talk what's going on in the world. King Doopy. Thank you so much, Vertical Lines. My goodness. Thank you so much, Vertical Lines. We had a retired FDNY. Why your smoke detector removed? No, okay. Thank you. It is not removed. My smoke detector. Is it removed? I got one right up there. But thank you for coming in today. I will correct that. My thought, King Dopey, thank you, Vertical Lines, again. He just super chatted and donated to the cause here. So appreciated, and I will fix that smoke detector when I get off tomorrow. You come here tomorrow and you'll see that it's fixed because of what you just told me. My thoughts on JD Drew. JD Drew, personally, was a nice fella, very quiet, and I just, he probably just... couldn't handle injuries well. It seemed like he was not really, and he also didn't seem like, he's like one of these guys who's just really good at baseball, but didn't seem like he liked playing baseball. That's what I had. All right, capital D. Do you Lil Wayne? I don't know what that means. Andrew, what is this? Some kind of Stern Show recap? Old shows or new? So we thank you for coming, and what we normally do is I'll go kind of give you an on this date of pop culture, talk a little sports, and then I'll go back to Mark's Friggin' and we'll look back at some things that happened on this date. But today, and then I look at the comments and we just discuss whatever people are talking about in the comments. So thank you for coming. I plan on going and looking at some things that happened on this date. We also will look at some of the things that happened on the show today. If anyone listened, thank you. I appreciate that, Andrew. And again, Vertical Lines, I will make sure I fix that smoke detector. I'll take a look at what's wrong with it. I thought it was okay. Yeah, and then everybody who comes in, oh, thank you so much. Thank you again, Vertical Lines. It's the one above you I thought was removed. No, that's not a smoke detector. That's a fan. That's a fan. Let me just make sure, because Vertical Lines is serious about this topic. I just want to show, and I will test it. Although I don't want Sparky to bark, but we got one right here. It's right there. So it's there and it works, and we test it all the time. It actually beeps when it's not bright. Sparky gets mad, the dog. But thank you for checking in. That is not a smoke detector. All right. Hi. All right, I'm back. We are back. All right. So, where was I? I was in the comments. JD Drew, former Red Sox who beat the Cardinals in the World Series. What? Was he with the Red Sox in 2004? I don't think so. I believe he was with the Braves in 2004. I know he went to the Red Sox. The Red Sox beat the Cardinals in 2013. I was there for that. And I got yelled at by Red Sox fans. I was in the media again, and those guys were some chowder heads. They're just screaming at the St. Louis media, hey, go back to St. Louis, you bums. Red Sox fan. What a bunch of chowder heads. Thank you, Emmett Ocean. He says, great show. King Dopey. Thank you very much, Vertical Lines. You're the best. I'm going to like this. I'm going to like your comment. I'm going to go back here and like this one. Everybody like Vertical Lines' comments. He is donating to this channel, and he is a friend of mine now. You've made my day. Thank you for coming in. King Dopey, any updates about Reverend Bob Levy? Who was your best Sterncast interview and why? So yeah, a lot of people come here to take a look at the interviews from the old days. I really enjoyed Mike Ganji. I thought he was open and we had a nice time. And Brian Phelan's always great. I'll have to think about my favorite. Lance, we are jerks here. Yes, hello. All right, Andrew, you're from Boston and you agree. Thank you very much. Chowderheads all over Fenway. Over at Boston Yards. Emmett Ocean, lines coming through. I don't know what that means. Ross Dogg's Broken Spirit. I was rooting for the Sox in '86, but only that year. Can I tell you that I was a child back then? And that Buckner thing was one of my favorite moments in sports. I don't know, maybe that says something about me, but I remember where I was. I was sitting on the floor of my basement in my parents' house, and I was shocked. The Mets were gonna win. The Red Sox were gonna win the World Series. Even my dad's like, we gotta watch this. This hasn't happened. And lo and behold, that ball went. Well, I mean, it wasn't Buckner's fault. Everything else before that, it was really Calvin Schiraldi's fault, the pitcher, right? I mean, he gave up all the hits. So, but I will tell you the next greatest moment in sports, Steve Bartman. So I'm a Cardinal fan-ish. My Cardinal fandom is waning of late. But when Steve Bartman was accused of taking that ball away from Moises Alou and then the Cubs choked, I don't think I've yelled and screamed at the TV at something non-Cardinal related in my life or any sports related thing as I did that night. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. I feel bad for Steve Bartman. Totally wasn't his fault, but that's Cub fans for you. Oh, we gotta blame somebody. Let's blame a goat. We'll blame Bartman. Ross Dogg's Broken Spirit. Their bullpen was horrendous. Not Billy Buck's fault. No, they weren't. You see Bob Stanley coming in. He looks like me, you know. That's going to be a problem. How did they not have a close? Did they not have a closer? Like Bob Stanley's your closer? King Dopey. My guy Dykstra got a ring, though. Yes, he did. That was all in Alex Gonzalez, Matt says. Yes, The Air by Mark Pryor. Left in too long. Dusty Baker, not a great manager. In my opinion, especially at that time. What he did for the Astros is perfect. Just kind of hang out and be a happy guy with the toothpick. And you know what he had last year? I saw him. He's got this big old cooler of fruit that he'd eat during the game. I thought that was fun. I should have taken a picture of it. It's Ross Dogg's Broken Spirit. Watch Catching Hell, a great Buckner Bartman doc. It is, and I like that it kind of gives you that feeling of the fans were kind of the assholes, not Buckner or Bartman. I have a friend who knows Bartman, and I tried to get an interview with him, and he won't do it. He just is in hiding, and I think his life was miserable, and it still is miserable. I love that Buckner went on Curb Your Enthusiasm, though. I don't know if anybody saw that. Heavy, do you think the heyday of baseball will ever come back? I was a huge Braves fan growing up, and I watched every game on TBS and then would turn on the E! Channel for Howard. Oh, man, Vertical Lines. Thank you so much. You part of the Dabbleverse, and can you explain it? I've not been able to figure it out. No, but I'm going to like your comment, and thank you so much, Vertical Line. Vertical Line's coming through here. He's making my day. He's making me feel like I'm needed here. Baseball will not be back to its heyday. They're going to expand. The pitching of having starting pitchers only go 5 innings is ruining the game. The analytics is ruining the game. I love the Braves announcers, says Ross Dogg's Broken Spirit. The best was when the Braves were bad in the late 80s and early, well, I guess they started to get good in the early 90s, but when Skip Carey just did not give a shit, he was the best. I heard someone say this too, like you didn't realize how great Skip Carey was until they did get good, because you go listen to some of those calls in the mid-90s once the Braves got good, and he was a damn good announcer, but you would have never known it, because what did he have good to talk about or announce from the time he came up? Matt, same, Cubs during the day, Braves at night, and then E. Yes, so I'd come home, and the Cubs would be on, and just Harry Carey was drunk or whatever he was doing, and I loved those were the days, and it was kind of cool because you had to watch the Braves and the Cubs. Even the Cardinals weren't even on that much back then. Favorite manager, King Dupey, was Jim Leland on the Pirates, smoking in the dugout and yelling at Bonds. Yeah, that there's a video of him having a dart. Again, thank you for coming in. If you're here for Howard Stern stuff, I promise we'll do it. But this is what we do. We're tailoring the show to what the people want, and today people want to talk sports with me, and I'm into it. I'm fine with that. So and I love talking about the past. You can take a look. I have an interview with Mark McGwire I did back in the day. Thank you, Ross. My goodness. Ross coming in with a super chat. Thank you so much. Those are enacted. Analytics are ruining the game. You are correct, sir, says Ross Dog's broken spirit. That's interesting too, because the Cardinals are kind of going into this old way, like, hey, we're gonna get pitchers that pitch innings, because last year the bullpen was terrible. But you can't have like 10 pitchers every night, and you're gonna wear everybody out. So Richard, hello Richard. They pitch 5 innings because clubs don't want to blow out an arm. Contracts are guaranteed. Yeah, that's true too. It's all about the money. Everything comes back to the money. I think it's funny that the Dodgers only won 1 World Series, and it's the COVID World Series. Does that count? I don't think it counts. And I don't see Dave Roberts, I think, is a nice gentleman. I don't think he gets to manage that team whatsoever. I think they plug and play, and they send him a lineup out of a computer, and they tell him they have blown so many other World Series. I kind of get sick of seeing them being able to pay for their teams. But I love that they've only won 1 World Series since 1988, and that was the COVID one, so I don't count that one. Ganja King B, Steelers winning the Super Bowl. It's going to be a while for that, right? They're not so good from what I hear. But I digress. Richard Cornell, they got screwed in the Astros World Series. Who got screwed in the Astros World Series? The White Sox? Oh, the Dodgers. Yes, sorry. Yes, that was, well, of course. I mean, somebody was banging on a trash can at that point. Matt says that's got to be the only explanation for Roberts not being fired. No, he's. I tell you, like, what he does is he's the leader. You know, he's a players manager. People love him. The players love him. I don't believe he has any sort of. He gets no say in what he gets to do there. So, Ganja King, dude clearly doesn't know about football. Richard says the Astros cheated. Well, it's been proven, I believe, that they did that. I'm going to go look at some of these. We didn't do any Stern on this date. If there's some Stern folks in here, tell me. Oh, by the way, we didn't even do roll call, but where's everybody at? Where's everybody from? So say hello. Tell me where you're from. Tell me how you found out about this. Make sure you subscribe, because I try to do this daily. Again, normally it's just hodgepodge. I start looking at things that happen on this date, and then we start doing I look at the chat, and I chat with the folks coming through. I missed Mr. Mofongo. I missed the Cards Astros rivalry. That was good baseball. It was great baseball, and it was funny because you're supposed to hate the Astros, and I couldn't really. I hated the ballpark. I hated that Lance Berkman, when he hit left-handed, could just flick his wrist. But God damn, when we got Lance Berkman, I loved Lance Berkman. One of my all-time favorite players having here. Lance says, I was scouted by the Red Sox and Montreal. I pitched twice in Pawtucket for the AAA team until I broke my ankles. Otherwise, I'd be 12 years retired. That's an interesting story, Lance. Too bad, man. What years was this? Well, Montreal had to be in the, late 80s, early 90s, obviously. Although they moved to Washington, I guess, in 2005. But that sucks. I wish I could have. I was a terrible pitcher. I went to my high school tryout, and I tried to throw as hard as Juan Guzman. Remember the Toronto pitcher? So I never had a great windup, so I was always trying to do, and I just started heaving him up I did a Ricky and Keel during this tryout, and the coach just said, you can leave now. Lance says 1988. Hello, New York in the house, vertical lines. Hello, New York. Northern Utah in the house. Richard Cornell says, thank you very much. Welcome in from Utah. Mr. Fungo, I missed the Cards being a top team. St. Louis is a great place to see a game. I've been to quite a few parks, and St. Louis is always great. Yeah, it used to be fun. I remember, the Cardinals were the hunted, and people hated Cardinals, and I loved that. It was fun, and it was also fun because they weren't brash ever. It was just Scott Rowland, Jim Edmonds, you just put their head down, hit home runs, and then beat you. Not like, I remember when the Cardinals and Padres played in the playoffs in that COVID series, and they were all jumping all over the place, and I'm like, God, I just wish we'd just beat them. Although I enjoy watching teams have fun, too, of course. I just don't like it against my team. Heavy says, Providence, Rhode Island here. Hello. Found you after the algo recommended you while browsing old Stern clips. I canceled Sirius, so old clips it is for me. Yeah, I spend all my time on YouTube. If I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't paid for the subscription. I hate the ads, although the ads help me, so I don't want to do that. But that's what I do. There's 4 or 5 channels that just keep pumping stuff out there, and I'm always here too. Great mountain range in Utah, says Richard. Yes, Utah is beautiful. I need to get out there. I've never been out that west. We were supposed to go to Montana 2-3 years ago and do all that. And then there was floods. And then there was fires. And then people were dying around me. We never got to go out there. Hello, Jimmy from Ohio. Indians fan, still refusing to call them the Guardians. You're not even spelling Guardians right, which is fine by me. I don't get why Indians had to go away. It makes no sense to me. But I'm not the one running baseball. Mr. Mofongo says, Lance went to the same high school I did. I'm from Austin, Texas. Played music all my life. Baseball music about sums me up. Yeah, I enjoy music, and I enjoy Lance Berkman. Big fan of him. He's still coaching down there in Texas, I believe. Hello, Brian from Orange County. Brian's here. Thank you for saying hello. Love when people come in and just tell us where they're from. It's fun to hear. We had last week, I think we had some folks from Russia and Denmark and Finland, and it's really amazing. To be honest, that there's people from all over countries watching this goofball do my thing here. But we're having fun. We're talking together. We're having a good chat. We're talking sports today. I started off with Shohei, and started showing off some Elvis pictures. So you'll have to, if you weren't here earlier, I'll post you'll see it obviously come back when it's done, when this live stream is done. But we had some fun today. By the way, 1992 on this date, Mike Tyson, speaking of sports, he was sentenced to 6 years in prison following a rape conviction that happened in Indianapolis. I believe that was Desiree Washington, if that name sounds right. But Mike Tyson going to go back out and box, but I guess what, he's going to wear headgear and soft gloves against Jake Paul? Pass. Nolan Ryan, the all-time best Astro, says Richard. Richard, that was my all-time favorite pitcher outside of the Cardinals, Nolan Ryan. Brian also asked, whatever happened to Artie Lange? Artie is under probation, I believe, and had some real issues, but I think he's coming back. And when he does, we'll be here to document it, and hopefully he'll come on the program. Lisa G, roll call. Yes, Lance. I can't remember how it went. What did it... It's Ed, Lisa, Andre, where are you coming from? Let's say hey. Hey, yeah, that's what it was. Tyson will definitely destroy Paul, says Lance. I believe so. You should start the stream with the Lisa G roll call of the chat, says Ross. Tomorrow, where's my notes? Why don't I have a notebook? I need to write this down. We will do a roll call tomorrow, promptly at 5:05 p.m. Eastern, 4:05 Central. So we'll get the live thing started. We had 2 people waiting before I got here. I think there's 5 people in this stream. This is the first time this has happened. Before I even turned it on, I was on time, and people are already here. Makes my heart aflutter. Heavy, love when Artie Lange rapped Biggie Smalls, give me the loot. Artie was amazing with his memory. I think, that's a kind of, people have a big brain when they can kind of take that in and remember that. I love when he would do The Godfather. I love when he had Scorsese in, and then he sort of forgot the line. But that was fun. Noise, says Ross. Mr. Mofongo, 2 more days till the baseball season starts. That's right. Screw Lisa G. You'd be the only one who did. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate that. I don't know what that means. I did have some stuff on this date. What else happened? Oh, Diana Ross's birthday today. Happy birthday to her. Let me just look. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Number 1 song in 1984, Somebody's Watching Me by Rockwell. Everybody know the story about Rockwell, by the way? He was Barry Gordy's kid, right? And so we'll put Michael Jackson on the song. He'll sing the chorus. We'll get you a number 1 hit. Rockwell, number 1 in 1984 for 1 week, and it was this week only. 1985, the number 1 song is Madonna, Material Girl. She's number 1 a lot around this time period. Just kind of keeping an eye on the comments. Again, we do a little on this date. We've had some folks come in and do some super chat and super thanks, and I can't super thank you back enough. We have memberships. Take a look at the description. But what we do is we just kind of hang out. We talk, go a couple minutes here and see what people are up to with Talk Sports. Are these my wife's glasses? Do these not look good? I think these look okay. They might be my wife's glasses, though. I'm not sure. I didn't wear glasses until I started doing this because I couldn't see the chat. I think Lance was the first one. I was like this. I couldn't read it. I can't see. I'd have to be way back here, and I can't see it. I think I look handsome. I'm sorry. I don't care what you say. I mean, for me, I look handsome. Those are my wife's glasses, yes. Let's just take a look here. What happened on this date? On March 26, 1997, Crackhead Bob came in with his girlfriend. Hello, kitty. Go for the Clark Kent look, man. Look cool. ITD. I don't know. Look cool. I guess I'll go look for some glasses. I got a haircut, too. I got a coiffing going here. Thanks for noticing. I'm just trying to see if there's anything fun that happened on this date that can give us some discussion. I think I talked about this last time. Let me make sure I'm not missing any comments, though. As long as I can see with them. Thank you, Richard. Yes, I can. King Doopy. It would. Is that what ITD is? I thought I was saying I don't know, but that's not. That's IDN. I'm not really good with, I'm an old. High Pitch Eric was probably at the Chinese buffet, says King Dopey. On this date, probably. Tell us more about Crackhead Bob, you good? Oh, you ask, you receive. This is from Mark Friggin, by the way, on this date. That's right, Crackhead Bob has a girlfriend. Who would believe it? Bob's new girlfriend, Nina, said she didn't even know who Bob was when she met him about a month ago. She met him at some bar. So yeah, Bob had a girlfriend. Did you get a free bowl of soup with that hair? Why, Richard? I did get a free bowl of soup. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. It was funny. I go to this. I go to Great Clips. I love Great Clips. Yeah, $19, whatever. And a woman was cutting my hair, and it didn't turn out the way I thought it would. I don't think it turned out the way she did either, because she got done with it and she goes, "That's all right, baby. It'll look better in a week." You don't want to hear the person doing your hair say that to you, but that's what she said. Rich, don't be a dick, but I guess you can't escape your name. Thank you. I think Richard was just being funny, right? Richard, you were just having fun, right? When you said about the free bowl of soup and this haircut. You got me all stressed out now, though. I'm thinking about my glasses, my haircut. Don't even talk about this double chin that I got going today. Still looking back on this day. We had Crazy. I don't want to talk about that. Looking at 2002. So we had the Stuttering John Crazy Cabbie fight. They were discussing that. That's like a doctor saying, I think we got everything. Richard is probably bald and has a problem with people with hair. That's right. I agree. Remember, we have super chats and super thanks available, and I appreciate everyone coming here. Crackhead and Hank the Angry Dwarf were the best whack packers, in my opinion. I know what IMO is. That's from Richard, the man who made fun of my baldness. No, man, you're all right. Don't sweat it, says Kitty. March 22nd, 2002, we had Stuttering John and Crazy Cabbie. We had the fight updates there. And then Joan Rivers. So this is the second time Joan Rivers called in on this date. And I mentioned this last time. It always seems weird that when I look back, some of these people come in on the same date just a couple years later. Joan Rivers, this is 2002. And let me just look back in my notes here. Joan Rivers came in 1999 on the same day. And this happens all the time when I go to these. Do you think they just have some sort of... I'll have to ask one of my former Stern employees that have come on the show. What I'm going to tell you right now is not much happened on this date. So I'm glad we had a good conversation about sports and Howard. I'm getting close to the point where I get a little tired. So I'm going to start just reading more comments and maybe begin the wrap-up process of this program, the wrap-up show. We had the losers, though. This was interesting. In March 22nd, 2003, the losers took on Fozzy. Fozzy, of course, Chris Jericho's band. Let me make sure I'm not missing any comments. Do you think your live people got money for Super Chat, We're more broke than crackhead Bob. Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying it's available, but people have been coming in. Eric the actor, pound for pound, Eric the actor was the best whack packer. And we've got other folks saying ETM, ack. What's your name? Call me Brad. I'm your YouTube friend, Brad. I'm here, YouTube. I'm here to help you out and have some fun. Where are you from? I'm from St. Louis. Thank you, Brian. I'm from St. Louis. Thanks for asking. Born and bred here. We talked a lot of sports early on, and we're getting ready for Cardinal baseball season. The Blues are going to probably not make the playoffs. Not happy about that after a loss to the Vegas Knights. It was a sad game. I enjoyed that. But anyway, let me see if there's anything else before I go. Yeah, FCC fines in 2004, so he's getting ready to move to satellite. What I can say is not much happened on this date. I really enjoyed today's program. I hope you did too. Who's your all-time favorite staff member? This is from Don. Hello, Don. Who's my favorite all-time staff member? Artie, if he's a staff member, right? Artie was my favorite. My least favorite Stern employee is Jason. Okay, that's from Richard. The bro fight was an all-time Stern moment. It was. Wasn't that because Robin started it too? Like Robin said, "Oh, you jerk," and then said, "Oh no, Artie was calling you a jerk on the wrap-up show." So I think Robin started the bro fight, if I was right. Thanks, Lance. Great show. I look forward to it. What you do ain't easy. I really appreciate that. I'm just here, just reading comments, but evidently I'm doing it okay. Thank you, Lance. I appreciate it. Thank you, King Doopy. Great show. All right. So yeah, thank you everybody for coming in. Appreciate everybody coming. We've gone a good 47 minutes. I've enjoyed all the conversation. I'll probably be here tomorrow. I always put these out early in the day when I'm going to go live, so you know that I'm going to be here. If it changes, it changes, but please make sure you're subscribing, turning on those notification buttons and alerts and whatever happens. I don't even use those. So you can see when we're doing this. Tell your friends. It was a wonderful day. Thank you, Richard, new subscriber. Appreciate that. I'm not reading that, Kitty. That's funny. Thank you, Heavy. This says, this was great. We'll continue to support 100%. Thank you so much. All right, so thank you, everybody. We'll be back probably tomorrow. We'll get you ready for some baseball. We'll talk whatever else is on your mind, but I'm going to go eat some dinner. Good night, everybody.